welcome back ng channel Batang Bungo Hunter. Yan, panoorin natin to yung mga reaction video. Welcome back ng channel Batang Bungo. My name is June Mahinay, i-react tayo. Kaya, wala na intro to, panoorin na natin to.
Cameras known to exist almost everywhere. They often tend to capture moments that are completely unthought of. In today's video, we will see mysterious and other creepy encounters that were complete, caught unexpectedly, that were never meant to be caught.
Yan yung grabe na napapakita pag tumasakay yung kotse. Yung babae na to, white lady. Kayo ba? Papayag ba kayo? Nagpakita yung white lady na sa likod ninyo. Di ba? Napalingon ka na rin. Nakapapasigaw ka. Talagang sobrang nakakatakot.
Oh, no manches. Oh, no manches. Ceci!
A local was walking down the road when he saw a woman stood on the roadside wearing a long coat and pushing a hand carry. But something was wrong. She had no head. Yes, you heard it right. She was headless. It didn't make any...
Ayan guys, oh, naglalakad na walang ulo. Wow, ang tindi naman na napakita naman siya. Araw na araw napapakita. Naglalakad na walang ulo. Ano yun?
Sense. Legends say headless spirits belong to those who met violent ends, unable to find peace.
Ayun, nagdahil siya walang
Similar
ulo.
sightings have been reported. A group at Sydney Central Station saw a headless woman across the tracks. She
Walang
wasn't
ulo
a
na naman.
mannequin. She moved. In Singapore, a boy filmed a headless man on the street.
Delikado po yun dahil pagka walang ulo, may nangyayari sa masama na hindi maganda. Kaya guys, pag may nakakita kayo ng ulo na walang ulo naglalakad, wala ko po, oras na ng kamatayan. Kaya guys, pag nakakita kayo ng mga walang ulo, kausapin mo lang at magdasal sa na ama namin. Kaya nakakatakot pag na walang ulo. Halimbawa, kasama mo walang ulo. Wow! Ibig sabihin may nangyayari na hindi maganda. Kaya guys, panoorin natin ang reaction video.
Say these figures are trapped spirits. Others believe they are something far beyond explanation.
Ayun o, walang ulo.
3 a.m. terror.
Son las 3 de la mañana, gente.
Every night at 3 a.m., a couple in Mexico was disturbed by something unsettling. Loud, relentless knocking echoed from their window, waking them up in fear. One night, the man decided to check. As he approached, he caught a glimpse of a pale, eerie face staring through the glass. His heart pounded, but he stepped outside to see who or what it was. Behind a vehicle, something was lurking. Its face wasn't human. It had a haunting, unnatural look, something that resembled a rake or a ghostly being. The sight sent a chill through him. Without wasting a second, he ran back inside and locked the doors.
Oh, no manches. Oh, no manches. Ceci!
White roadside figure.
Yun o, bawat daan mo.
A driver was heading home through an abandoned road when he saw something standing by.
Mahirap pag mag-drive pagka highway na may napapakita sa'yo. Kaya guys, inat-inat lang kayo. Baka huwag mo na lang pansinin yung diretso, takbo na lang kayo. Yan ang magandang paraan.
Roadside. It sent a chill down his spine. As he got closer, he saw a tall figure dressed in white.
Parang puto eh, no?
At that hour, no normal person could be expected there. He kept driving, not wanting to stop, but the sight stayed with him. It was later said that he mysteriously vanished after that night. Locals claimed the figure had been seen many times before. A ghostly lady who passed away on that very road. Some suggested she trapped those who crossed her path, never to be seen again. Ghost passenger recorded. A taxi driver was out looking for passengers, unaware that he already had one. A figure with long hair sat silently in the back seat. It appeared out of nowhere, just sitting there watching him. The driver focused on the road, didn't notice anything unusual, but later, when he checked the dash camera, the truth hit him. Clear as day, the eerie passenger was right there the whole time. It might be a
nasa likod
jinn.
na niyang kotse, lalaki. Ewan ko na nakita niya kasi nasa talikuran yung ano eh. Kaya sumakay yung babae. Hindi ko alam kung white lady ba to, ibang nilalang.
To frighten drivers and cause mishaps. After seeing the footage, one thing was certain: he
Sa
would
ano
never
siya
drive
eh,
alone
kaluluwa
again.
siya eh, oh.
Silent woman filmed. A man was driving past a house when he noticed something unusual. He stopped, feeling drawn to a strange figure standing beside the house.
Ay,
Curious, he
natatago,
took out
guys.
his phone and started recording. A woman dressed in white with long hair.
Ayun guys, oh, natatago siya, oh. Nakita mo yun guys? Yun, natatago. Mahilig nagtatago ng mga multo, no? White lady yata yan eh. Kaya na lang mag-gusto guys, mag-comment na dulo kayo para makita mo anong nilalang to. O white lady ba? O mangkukulam? Mag-comment po kayo guys.
Stood motionless in the darkness. The figure resembled a
White lady
kuntilanak, a
pala.
spirit known in many legends.
Natatago
He
sa
kept
pader,
recording, but then the video cut off abruptly.
magtago,
What happened next remained unknown. People were convinced the spirit had taken him away, leaving his family searching for answers they might never find. Shadowy figure spotted. A CCTV
yung
camera
kaluluwa niya.
overlooking a building's
Tumawid
driveway
yata yun, ang
captured
bilis,
something
oh.
unsettling. Cars were parked, everything seemed normal,
Nakabilis
until
siya.
one worker was seen standing near a truck. Out of nowhere, a shadowy figure rushed into the frame,
Ang
moving
bilis.
unnaturally fast
Tumatakbo,
before disappearing behind the truck. The worker didn't react, completely unaware of what had just happened.
Ano
It
kaya
might be a
ang
wraith
nilalang
or a
to?
jinn
Tumatakbo, ang
lurking
bilis
in the shadows, watching. Maybe it had come for the worker or had already taken him. Vanishing camp victim.
Oh,
The
tumakbo yung
woods at
lalaki.
night
Tapang
seemed
ah.
peaceful, but they held
Nahabol
mysteries not meant to be uncovered. A group of campers wandered through the trees when
Paano
they
ng
spotted
baseball
someone
yun, ah?
ahead in the darkness. It was their friend, or so they thought.
Ang tapang ah.
They spoke to him, unaware of what was creeping up
Oh, tinakbuhan
behind.
niya.
Out of nowhere, a tall white creature rushed forward and took him away in an instant. Panic set in as they ran toward the spot, searching desperately. But he was
Tumakbo,
gone,
napapaliw
as if he had
yata
never
yan.
been there.
Ng
Some
baseball,
whispered
eh.
about skinwalkers, once thought to be just myths.
tumakbo.
But that night, myths felt more real than ever.
Tumakbo agad oh.
Your call has been forwarded.
White
Oh,
lady
white
charging.
lady, nagbo. Ba't yan?
A local was
Totoo kaya
driving
yan?
down an abandoned road when something stepped in front of his car.
Dahil panoorin mo to dahil, totoo kaya ito? White lady, kasi gawa-gawa lang, kasi sa ibang bansa kasi sa Indonesia, sa Malaysia, nagbablog sila na meron white lady na naglalakad. Meron ba nun? Harap-harapan? At lalapitan nila. Kayo lang mag-gusto guys ha, mag-comment na dulo ka lang guys. Comment lang kayo.
Forcing him to stop. A lady dressed in all
Sino
white,
naman
her
guys,
face
oh?
covered
Naglalakad
with
ng
long
white lady,
hair,
ganyan.
stood there, holding a stick.
May
She started
pang-
walking
ano,
toward the
pang-
car.
oh,
The man
oh, oh.
panicked and began reversing. But then, she suddenly threw the stick
Wala ba sa
aside and
kapangyarihan?
charged straight at
Nawawala-wala?
it. The video ended abruptly.
Tumatakbo
No
siya,
one
oh.
knows what happened next. But one thing was certain.
Oh, yun,
She
tumatakbo
wasn't
na rin siya,
normal. A witch, perhaps. Maybe that road wasn't just
Kasi
abandoned.
sa white lady, hindi naman basta-basta mapapakita yan eh. Gawa-gawa lang yan eh. Gawa-gawa lang yung ano eh. Ano yung
Maybe
wala?
others had seen her before and knew better than to take that path. Red-eyed
Ano
shadow.
eh, parang Spider-Man. Oh, ilaw yung mata oh.
In a boys' hostel room, a group was having fun when they noticed something strange. A black humanoid figure with glowing red eyes walked down the stairs of the bunk bed.
Dude, that's fucking scary. What?
At first, they thought it was a prank, maybe one of their friends messing with them. But as it moved closer, they realized it wasn't. Fear took over as the being approached, and the clip ended abruptly. Later, when they checked the recording, there was nothing there. The figure had completely vanished. That was enough for them. They didn't want to stay there any longer. Some switched rooms, while others considered leaving the hostel altogether.
Ay, nako.
Dude, that's fucking scary. What? Okay.
Face and wall.
Uy, yung ulo. Nakikita niyo guys? Ano yun, ulo?
A lady was washing clothes in the washing area when she felt a strange
Ay, diba,
presence.
nagwawasin.
She looked up and froze.
Nakita yung ulo.
There, in the corner of a wall hole, a creepy
Ayun,
face stared
nakakatakot.
back at her.
Putlang-putla
Her
yung
heart
mukha,
pounded
guys.
as she rushed to check the other side, but no one was there. Yet she was sure of what she saw. It wasn't her
Guys, putla-putla yung mukha eh, no? Multo yun eh. Sumisilip, naglalaban yung babae habang nagwawasin siya. Kayo mag-comment lang kayo dyan, totoo ba yan? Na sumisilip na namumutla yung mukha niya. Yan. kung bago ka lang sa ano na to, Batang Bungo Ghost Hunter. Mag-comment lang kayo nito kung totoo ba ito.
After that day, she started noticing more strange sightings around the house.
Ayan, sinilipan nila. Wala namang tao
Shadows
sa loob.
moving, whispers in empty rooms. Whatever it wasn't leaving her alone. Unable to take it anymore, she made a decision. She packed her things and left the house for good. Kuntilanak on roof. An Arab man saw a terrifying sight one night on the roof of a prayer room. A lady in white with messy hair sat completely still. At first it seemed like someone possessed by a jinn, but then he realized it was a kuntilanak. Legends say she is the spirit of a woman who passed away during childbirth, wandering in search of revenge. She didn't move, but her presence felt unsettling. The man stood frozen, unsure whether to run or keep watching. Without wasting a second, he thought of calling a priest, hoping to get rid of it. Glowing eyes.
Wow, napapakita din.
A group of boys was in the woods when they saw something unsettling. Skinny creatures with glowing eyes stood among the trees, unmoving, just watching. There weren't just one or two. There were many, as if an entire family lived there. The boys had brought tools to protect themselves, but seeing those creatures made them question if they were enough. They slowly stepped back, trying not to make any sudden moves. The deeper they looked into the woods, the more pairs of glowing eyes they saw. On the outside, they kept their stillness, but deep down, fear had already taken over. Long-necked horror. Late at night, a woman was woken up by strange noises coming from the stairs. Thinking it might be a ghost, she decided to check. But what she saw on the security camera was far worse. A long, thin-necked creature moved in the dark, its body stretching endlessly like a snake. It wasn't human, and it didn't seem like any animal she knew. This matched the description of Long Horse, a well-known urban legend. Fear took over. She ran back to her room and locked the door. Dark figure watching.
What is that?
A couple was driving through a wooded path when their car broke down. As they stepped out to check, they noticed something lurking behind a tree.
What is that?
What? What's behind that tree?
A dark figure peeking at them, watching their every move. It didn't look human. Its shape resembled a ghostly presence, and the way it moved sent chills down their spine.
Guys, pang-comment yung itim na tao parang anino no? Mag-comment lang kayo guys subscribe kayo sa Batang Bungo Ghost Hunter
Then, a strange sound echoed through the trees, almost like a warning, telling them to leave. The couple didn't wait to find out what it was. They decided to rush back into the car, desperately trying to restart it. Dancing Lady Terror. A resident stepped outside for a walk when he noticed a lady standing in the middle of the road. At first it seemed normal, but then he saw her movements. She was dancing in a strange and unsettling way. She moved unnaturally, almost as if controlled by an unseen force. Suddenly she stopped. Her head snapped toward him, and before he could react, she rushed straight at him. She resembled the infamous Serbian dancing lady, a spirit said to bring misfortune to those who watch her. People believe that anyone who stops to see her dance meets a tragic fate. And that man, he made the mistake of watching.
Ayan guys tignan mo yung babae sumasayaw. Pag sumayaw yung babae, pag nakita ka, hahabulin ka yan. Sa ibang bansaya siguro yan. Nangangabot, pag nakita mo sumasayaw ka, parang ibig sabihin, parang kumbaga parang nadadasal siya Mag-comment kayo kung nakita nyo sa camera. Abang sumasayaw
What happened next remains unknown.
Tingnan mo guys
Red Bride's Curse.
Iba naman. Nakaka-trippy yung lugar na to guys.
A video uploaded online went viral for a chilling reason. It's
Red Lady. Nagpakita guys. Tingnan mo naman. Kung kayo ay nagpakita ng Red Lady, ano ba gagawin niyo? Tatakbo ba kayo? Siyempre, hindi nyo kaya labanin ng White Lady. Malakas yan. Pag nilusog mo yung White Lady niyan, lalo ka sasaktan yan.
Put a villager out for a final walk at night when he
Mag-comment
spotted
lang kayo,
someone
guys,
dressed in all red, walking ahead. Looked like a lady. He quietly followed,
Red
making no
lady.
sound, probably curious about who she was. But after that night, the villager was never seen again. His
Lalakad
family
na mag-isa.
searched, but there was no sign of him. People
Yan,
claimed she was the
napaka-trip ang lugar
spirit
na
of a
yan.
bride
Lahat
who
na
passed
madalas na
away on that
napapakita
road. Now she
ng
wandered
red lady.
there
Pag
every night
nasalubong
in
ng
that
red
red
lady, yan,
dress,
masama
luring
yan.
anyone who crossed her path. Those who
Kaya
followed her
kasi
were never meant to
mananakit
return,
na
as if she
tao.
took them to the world beyond.
Mapaka-trippy ang lugar niya.
Roadside witch sighting.
Baru kali ini men.
Just when you thought the creepy sightings were over, another one surfaced. A local was walking down the street at night when he spotted someone standing far away. The figure was dressed in white and remained completely still, not moving an inch. It was probably a witch, the kind said to haunt roads while waiting for a victim. He quickly turned to leave, but he couldn't shake the feeling that
Hindi natin alam kung white lady ba to o may tao eh. Nakaputi.
someone was chasing him.
Sa nakuburan.
The witch's ritual. A live footage began like any ordinary night, but then an unexplainable movement caught the camera's eye outside a building entrance in South Africa. It captured someone dressed in white, appearing out of nowhere, holding a broom. Strangely, the figure moved in an unusual way, almost like performing a ritual. It didn't seem normal. We know who carries a broom, right? A witch. But later, many people reported seeing the same figure again, always at night. Some even started avoiding the area after dark. The faceless passenger. In Delhi, the bus had finished its route, dropping off all passengers, except for one. A woman sat quietly, her face hidden beneath a cloth. The driver asked where she wanted to go, but she didn't respond normally. Something felt off. As time passed, he finally saw what was wrong. She had no face, just darkness where it should have been. Fear took over, and he rushed to call the police. But when they returned to check, the bus was empty. No sign of the woman, no trace she was ever there. Was she a ghost? It sure seemed like it. Some say the driver never took late-night shifts again after that night. The vanishing moose.
Wow, ito yung taong
On the roadside near the woods, a driver saw something that made him look twice. A humanoid figure stood near a moose, watching silently. The animal kept eating, unaware of the eerie presence spying on it. The figure had no face and moved unnaturally. It resembled the urban legend known as the Rake. The sight alone was unsettling, but what followed was even stranger. Rumors spread that after that night, the moose mysteriously vanished. No tracks, no signs, just gone. Some believe the creature took it as prey, leaving behind nothing but an eerie story that still lingers in the area. The Pale Stalker.
Ayun oh, tao na naman.
A security camera in Kentucky captured a sight that left viewers unsettled. The footage showed something moving near a car, thin, pale, and shifting in an...
Yung tao nakaputi eh, no? Ayun oh. Tao nakaputi.
Natural way. At first it almost looked like a person, but the way it moved said otherwise. Its legs bent oddly, its body hunched, and with each step it seemed more unnatural. The shape became clearer, its ribs visible, its frame too thin to be human. Some compared it to the pale crawlers from urban legends. Others believed it was a wandering spirit tied to a tragic past.
You see its face clearly. Right there.
The ghostly flight. At Phuket Airport in Thailand, a strange sight was caught on camera, leaving internet viewers unsettled. The footage showed an empty passenger bridge leading to nowhere. No plane in sight, nothing connected to it. But then, shadowy figures appeared, moving along the passageway. They seemed like passengers rushing toward an invisible flight. The video quickly went viral, sparking all kinds of theories. But with no clear answer, one question remained. If there was no plane, then where were those passengers going? Shadow on roof. During the Day of the Dead artistic event, celebrations filled the church. Everything seemed normal until someone noticed a shadowy figure moving across the roof. It wasn't part of the decorations, and it didn't look like any person. The way it moved sent goosebumps to those who saw it. Some believed it could have been a spirit drawn to the event meant to honor the departed. Maybe through the rituals and offerings, they had unknowingly invited something back. Whatever it was, it didn't stay long, vanishing as mysteriously as it appeared.
Ano kaya yun? Kaluluwa yan ah.
Ring camera figure. A ring camera captured something strange outside a house. At first, it looked like someone hidden under a black cloth, standing still as if trying to stay unnoticed. It gave off an eerie feeling, almost like a ghost, but it wasn't. When the cloth shifted slightly, the face beneath was revealed. A bizarre skull, large eyes, nothing human about it. The description matched exactly what people say aliens look like. Not long after, the house owner mysteriously disappeared. Some believe it was a coincidence, but others are sure. This was no ordinary sighting. It was an abduction. Shape-shifting dogman caught. A woman from Reynosa, Mexico shared a video from her home security camera that left many unsettled. It first showed what appeared to be a normal dog running outside, until, midway, its form shifted. In an instant, it stood tall, taking on the shape of something far from an ordinary animal. The transformation seemed impossible, yet it was caught on camera. Some believe she captured the legendary Nahual, a being known in folklore for shape-shifting into its spirit animal. One thing is certain, the footage was enough to make people question what truly exists in the shadows.
Tumatakbo.
Fiery giant appears. Something terrifying was seen on the road, and it wasn't just any ordinary sight. A local witnessed a giant figure made entirely of fire, moving forward, leaving a trail of fiery smoke behind. It looked as if it had risen straight from molten lava. Some suggested it was connected to beings like Surt or Ifrit, known for their fiery nature. But seeing something like this wasn't just rare. It felt like a warning. Maybe it was a sign of something coming, something
Mag-comment tayo dyan sa demonyo na yata kasi buusok maapol pa eh, no? Ibang klase, ibang bansa yan ah.
was ready for. Frozen bird mystery. Traffic came to a halt, but not because of a signal. A bird was seen in the air, but it wasn't flying. It was completely still, frozen in place. People stopped to watch, confused. The bird wasn't falling, just hanging there, as if stuck in time. Experts arrived, using a long pole to make it move, but nothing changed. Rumors suggested...
Tao kaya yun? Ibang klase, no? Parang...
was a glitch in the Matrix. Others thought a witch's spell had trapped it. Maybe it returned to normal later, but those who witnessed it wouldn't forget what they saw. Moving tricycle mystery. Just when it seemed like the eerie sightings had stopped, another one surfaced. A homeowner glanced outside and saw something that didn't make sense. A tricycle moving on its own. No one was there, no push, no wind strong enough to explain it, yet it rolled down the street as if someone was steering it. Whispers spread through the neighborhood. The tricycle once belonged to a child who was no longer around. People started believing it wasn't just the wind, but the child's restless spirit trying to find its way back home. Glowing eyes watching. In the snowy wilderness of Russia, a tourist's jeep broke down, leaving him stranded in the freezing cold. As he looked around for help, he spotted something sitting eerily still in the distance. It had glowing white eyes, unblinking, locked onto him. The longer he stared, the more unsettling it became. A rake? That's exactly what it resembled. The tourist didn't wait to find out. Instead of fixing his jeep, he turned and left as fast as he could, unwilling to risk what might happen if he stayed any longer. Witch on rooftop. Northern Mexico became the center of attention after locals spotted something unsettling on a house's roof. At first they thought it was just a thief, but no. This figure, dressed in black, refused to leave. No matter what they did, it stayed there, unmoving, as if performing some eerie ritual. Whispers spread. It wasn't a person, but a witch.
Ano kaya yun
Authorities
na lang
soon
yun?
stepped in, ordering the house and area to be sealed off. Until things returned to normal, people were warned to stay away.
Yun o. Itim.
Haunted store chaos. Back in 2007, a
Kabilugan ng
CCTV
buwan.
camera
Madaling
inside a
araw
deli
na
store in
papakita.
Connecticut captured a sight straight out of a horror movie. The store was empty when, out of nowhere, things started moving. First, the chairs shifted on their own. Then, items from the shelves began falling. The whole scene felt unnatural, as if something unseen was at play. Rumors spread that the store was built over a cemetery, and the spirits never left. Teleporting dog mystery. That night, a surveillance camera captured something that left people baffled. In front of a house, a dog stood still. Nothing unusual until it wasn't there anymore. Within seconds, it reappeared on the other side of the fence, as if it had been teleported. There was no sign of movement, no jump, nothing that could explain it. People started speculating. Could it be an alien abduction? Maybe the aliens intended to take a human, but mistakenly captured the dog, only to return it seconds later. Lake creatures emerge. On February 4th, 2024, a camera set at a lake recorded a scene straight out of a horror movie. Two heads emerged from the water, their glowing white eyes cutting through the darkness. Many people witnessed this eerie sight, and fear quickly spread among the nearby residents. They were convinced these were no ordinary creatures, but ghostly beings, or something far more sinister. In lakes, people might expect to see sea creatures, but this was beyond anything they imagined. As panic grew, the authorities stepped in, sealing off the lake until further investigation. Flying shadow entity. A street camera recorded a scene that left people unsettled. At first, everything seemed normal, but then a black shadowy figure was seen flying through the air. It moved swiftly and entered someone's window before vanishing. It appeared to be a kuyang, a creature known in folklore. Something red was visible on it, which many believed were its exposed organs. Later, rumors spread that the resident of the house it entered had mysteriously disappeared. After that, people in the area started locking their doors and windows, fearing they could be next. Mysterious street figure. At 3 a.m., a mysterious humanoid figure stood on a quiet street, partially hidden in the darkness. Its identity remained unknown, blending eerily into the night and creating an unsettling scene. This eerie moment was captured on video by a woman named Jet at her job site. The figure's appearance sparked speculation. Some believed it could be a duende, an elf, or another cryptid. Whatever it was, its presence at that hour
Nagpakita ng duwende, oh. Ang liit, no? Duwende.
raised many questions. The video spread quickly, leaving those who watched it wondering if similar beings lurked in the shadows, unseen by most. Cave ritual encounter. An explorer was searching for ancient artifacts in a rocky site when he saw something unexpected. A figure completely covered in a black gown sat still. The moment it noticed him, it moved quickly into a nearby cave. Curious, the explorer followed. Inside, the figure stood holding a stick, seemingly performing a strange ritual. It even spoke as if warning him to leave. Suddenly, a mysterious light appeared deeper in the cave. The explorer turned to look, but when he turned back, the figure was gone, vanished without a trace. Crawling Appalachian creatures. In 2024, deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a trail camera was set up to capture wildlife. Instead, it recorded something far more unsettling. Two skinny beings crawled across the ground, moving in an unnatural way. One of them even held something in its mouth, resembling prey. Later, they were seen standing, staring directly at the camera, their presence eerie and unexplainable. These figures match descriptions of skinwalkers from old legends. When the hunter checks the footage, he might realize how lucky he was that only his camera was there, because if he had been present, the outcome could have been very different. Eyes on rooftop.